Swim Across the Continents with the United Nations for the Millennium Development Goals started this past May. It was one open water crossing each month from May to August. We started in Papua New Guinea to connect Oceania to Asia. Then in June we moved to connect Asia to Africa, swimming from Jordan to Egypt. In July, from Morocco to Spain. And just a couple of weeks ago, we swam from Europe to the Americas, from Russia to Alaska.
Marcos Diaz.
What brings us here is actually because this is the 10th anniversary of that agreement that was signed right here in New York, and it couldn't be the best way to end the project than swimming from the Statue of Liberty to the United Nations building and being received by the Secretary General and have a document, a petition, in which brings the will of hundreds and millions of people from around the world that wants the leaders of the world that will be meeting in a few days to make the right decisions towards the MDGs. Swim in New York is a very special one since the countries has been connected already. This is a celebration. For the first time, I'll be in the Hudson River in the New York waters without having a competition or a big challenge in front of me. And although this is the last strokes for Swim Across the Continents, so it finished right here, the project, my responsibility and my commitment to the MDGs does not stop here. It will continue, and I will push as hard as I can to promote this urgency and hopefully inspire many other people, many other athletes to do the same, to take positive actions for change to happen soon.
An absolutely extraordinary story of endurance, and to find out what's going through his head, we thought we'd find out a bit more, and my colleague Terry Badu caught up with open water marathon swimmer Elaine Howley. She's crossed the English Channel, the Catalina Channel and the ring around Manhattan, among other achievements.
For me, it kind of just happens. Usually the first hour or so, I'm very concerned about what's going on, where my boat is, when I'm going to be fed, and all the logistics. But then usually after about an hour, hour and a half, I start to settle into a rhythm, and that's when time just doesn't really mean the same thing anymore once you're submerged and stroking towards whatever your goal is.
What are you thinking about during all that time?
All kinds of stuff. I get asked that question all the time, and it runs the gamut from singing songs in my head to thinking about work or things that I need to get done when I get out of the water. I do spend a lot of time worrying about my crew. My husband is my primary crew chief, so I often wonder if he's feeling okay and if everybody on the boat's having a good time. I also think about what might be down there that's interested in trying out me for lunch, but I try not to think about that too much.
I was going to say, I mean, if I was out there, sharks would be my biggest fear.
Yeah, no self-respecting shark really wants anything to do with us, so I just try to remember that, and remember that since I don't wear a wetsuit, I look a whole lot less like food.
Okay. What are the biggest challenges, though, to swimming long distances?
Yeah, I think training, finding the time to training appropriately, making sure that you are hitting certain milestones at certain points in the lead up to a big swim. Certainly the logistics of planning a swim can be really intimidating. I mean, the kind of swim that Marcos is doing here, he had to coordinate crews and boats and support and media coverage on 5 continents. I mean, that took probably a lot of legwork. So, and then there's just the whole mental preparation of being ready for anything, hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
You mentioned Marcos Diaz. He's swimming in temperatures, or has swum in temperatures just above freezing. Have you any experience of that?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I do the yearly polar bear plunge here in Boston, in the Boston Harbor, when the water temperature is about 37 degrees Fahrenheit. I haven't spent over an hour in water that cold, and I think hats off to Marcos for doing that. That's really impressive.
Why do you do this?
That's another good question I get asked all the time. The short answer is I'm a little nuts. Long answer is it's great to have a challenge. It keeps me focused. It makes me disciplined in all areas of my life, not just with swimming, but it makes sure that I get everything done that I need to in a timely fashion. I have some great friends who have really kind of aided and abetted this habit here, and it's my idea of fun.